Just 6 months before the biggest World Cup in history, a storm of questions hits Brazil's national team. A nation that has waited 24 long years to touch football's greatest trophy again is now placing all its hope on one man, Carlo Ancelotti. The legendary Italian coach, known for his calm presence and unmatched tactical brain, has been chosen by the CBF to end the drought that has haunted the Seleção since 2002. Fans are excited, critics are curious, and analysts are asking one burning question. What exactly is Ancelotti's plan with Thiago Silva? A player once described as the Great Wall of Brazil, a defender who carried an entire generation on his shoulders, yet a player who has not played a single international match since that heartbreaking night against Croatia in 2022. Is there still a place for the veteran? Or has the page already turned? But before we answer that, let's talk about where Brazil stands today. Over the past year, Brazil has transformed under Ancelotti. This is not the same chaotic, inconsistent team we saw after the 2022 World Cup. Today, the squad looks sharper, more disciplined, and far more dangerous. The biggest difference? Almost every Brazilian star is in red-hot form at club level. Vinícius Jr continues to dominate world football. He's not just Brazil's best left winger. He's arguably the best left winger on the planet. Every week he scores, assists, humiliates defenders, and proves why he's the future face of world football. Then there's Estevão Willian, the 18-year-old wonder kid who has already become one of the most exciting prospects in Europe. Add Raphinha, returning to top form with explosive performances, and suddenly Brazil's right flank is just as threatening as the left. In midfield, Bruno Guimarães is orchestrating the game with his creativity, intelligence, and passing range. He controls the tempo, breaks lines, and provides the structure Brazil has been missing for years. When you look at all this, one thing becomes clear. Brazil is entering the 2026 World Cup looking like a complete package. A team with flair, firepower, and frightening speed. A squad full of youth, energy, and star power. But even with all this, something still feels missing. Something the fans constantly talk about. Something the players themselves feel on the pitch. And that missing piece is Thiago Silva. There was a time when Thiago Silva was the heart of Brazil's defense. Calm, composed, unbeatable in the air, and a leader who organized every line of the back four. At his peak, many called him the most complete defender in the world. Even today, despite the wrinkles of age showing on his face, his performances say something else. That class never fades. But football has its own rules. Time never stops. Speed becomes harder to cope with. Recovery becomes slower. And international football? It's faster than ever. Rumors recently exploded that AC Milan is interested in bringing Thiago Silva back during the January 2026 transfer window. A return to the club where he became a superstar, and perhaps a final chapter before retirement. The fans love the idea, and many hope that a strong season in Europe could attract Ancelotti's attention. But here's the catch. Thiago Silva has not played a single match for Brazil since that 2022 quarterfinal defeat against Croatia under Coach Tite. That was his last international appearance. Since then, the new generation has taken over, and Ancelotti has been experimenting with younger, faster defenders. So when reporters finally asked the big question, what is your plan for Thiago Silva? Ancelotti's answer was honest, direct, and painful for some fans to hear. He said, Thiago Silva is an incredible defender. I have coached him. He is a very polite and professional human being. But World Cup football is different. Everyone plays at their maximum intensity. The game is faster. How will Thiago Silva adapt to that pace? At the moment, I'm not thinking about him. We have many options in defense. If we need him later, I will consider him. That one statement shook Brazilian fans. Not thinking about him. Many options in defense. Thiago Silva not fitting the pace. It suddenly felt like the door to the 2026 World Cup was quietly closing for the veteran captain. And Ancelotti's message became clear. Right now, Thiago Silva is not in his plans. Of course, the Italian coach did not say never, but he did say not now. And with only 6 months left before the World Cup, not now may very well mean Not again. So what does this mean for Brazil? And what does this mean for Thiago Silva? From one angle, it makes sense. Brazil has a new generation of defenders, strong, fast, technically gifted, and ready to take responsibility. Football is evolving, and coaches now prioritize speed, pressing, and recovery above everything else. But from another angle, experience is something that cannot be taught. Leadership cannot be replaced. Calmness under pressure cannot be downloaded like an app. And no one on this Brazil squad has more of those qualities than Thiago Silva. This is why the debate continues. Should the legend return for one final World Cup? Or should Brazil finally move forward without him? Whatever happens, one thing is undeniable. The Brazilian fans still feel his absence. His voice, his guidance, and his defensive intelligence are still missed every time Brazil faces high-pressure moments. And now the big question goes to you, the audience watching this video right now. Do you still miss Thiago Silva and Brazil's defense? Should Ancelotti bring him back? Or is it time for a new generation to take over completely? Comment below and let us know your thoughts.